Welcome to the Fight Night Daily podcast. We are back at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for the 5th time big fights. Alexander Usyk, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury in December against Derek Chisora, 2 Eubank Ben fights next year, and now, Spencer, the Gypsy King is back. He says it's all about him, it's all about entertainment. He was fascinating today in the face of Arslanbek Makhmudov, April the 11th. We're happy the Gypsy King's back.
Absolutely. I think that that was what Tyson was sort of talking about up there, wasn't he? The reasons for coming back, that he felt that boxing had missed him, and boxing had been going downhill a little bit, and that was half of the inspiration for him, half of the motivation for him to come back. And he's right in some senses, because boxing has missed Tyson Fury. The press conference that he just done up there, he was asked one question by Josh Dengel. He talked for the best part of 30 minutes. He talked about his life, where he's been since, the training camps over in Thailand, all of that, covered everything. But one thing is for certain, Tyson Fury back in 2026 is good for heavyweight boxing.
The sport is richer for having him back, but let's be realistic about this. He's being paid enormous sums of money for coming back. He half fancies a third outing with Alexander Usyk in the background. He wants to win the world title again. They're gearing up. Whether we know whether Anthony Joshua will truly come back or not, we don't know if he's committed to that at the moment because of the horrific road traffic accident that he was involved in late in the year last year. But Fury is stating, without me, the division has been a slumbering giant. He's right. I believe that. He showed it with his colourful Netflix tie today, the outlandish clothes and the statements, the Netflix sliders. There is something purely entertaining about him, but he knows he can do that because he knows how to box. The big question is this comeback after 15 months a little bit late? Is Arslanbek Makhmudov a bit of a banana skin? Is he a dangerous opponent right now?
That's the intrigue of this contest. I think that, you're looking at Tyson Fury at this stage of his career trying to become a 3-time world heavyweight champion at 37 years of age. And it was interesting listening to the motivation for him up there as well, talking about the terrible accident that Anthony Joshua went through over the Christmas period, and he said that was a lot of the motivation for it. You live for today, not tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. Saying those quotes from the Rocky movies, he said, and if you're looking for some sort of motivation to do something again, and what the terrible circumstances that Anthony Joshua went through, it was very, very interesting, very honest of Tyson Fury, because we know that Tyson Fury's life without boxing is very difficult, very complicated without boxing, and he's talked about that before, that boxing is his saviour, is his drive, and with the Anthony Joshua situation, very, very interesting. But I think that is the motivation. We talk about money, there's huge amounts of money on the table. Tyson Fury's got a lot of money. You need to find something else to motivate you, to drive you. And that is the driving force for him there, really, was what happened to Anthony Joshua, which was fascinating to hear.
And also, like saying, he was very respectful about Anthony Joshua, as everyone is, and as they rightly should be at the moment, as he, I don't say lick his wounds, but he is licking his wounds, literally, physically and mentally and emotionally. My understanding is in the background, there have been talks to put these two men together in a ring. It could be here, could be anywhere, frankly. I've said to you for a long time now, or certainly since Netflix have come on board, that fight probably belongs on Netflix. Fury's next series is coming out. They're making a documentary about Anthony Joshua's life, of course. That's out on Netflix. Regardless of what anyone says, Arslanbek Makhmudov is in the way right now of a giant all-British event, potentially later on in the year or even early next year.
Absolutely. Listen, Makhmudov is coming off that win against Davies, and the guy is very active, he's very heavy-handed, and that makes him a dangerous force.
He wrestles bears.
Listen, he's a big, strong guy. We saw him go face-to-face there with Tyson Fury. 6'9", he's huge, and Makhmudov matched him in every sense of the word, so it's a dangerous fight for Fury. You've got to respect it in many ways. That Tyson Fury, the reason he would have taken a fight like Makhmudov is because he will want to see that he's got it. He want to see that he could test himself at that sort of level before moving on to bigger and better things. And I think the roadmap now with Fury, Yeah, it is all roads lead to Anthony Joshua, and it's a fight that the boxing world, you know, really wants to see, and it's a fight that we still hope we get. But with what's happened to Joshua, that has been sidelined just a little bit now, and I just feel that Tyson Fury now will have this one against Makhmudov, comes through that one, then he'll be keeping his eye on Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois, May the 9th, the winner of that one for the WBO title that puts him back up the top of the pecking order. And the Anthony Joshua fight could happen down the road later on if both come through these fights, you know, for a world title again. So that could be the roadmap. It's very, very complicated. It's always, you know, the heavyweight landscape moves all the time, Gareth. You know that more than anyone. And you just look at the situation now, you know, after the tragic events of Joshua, and you go, the landscape has moved hugely again, and Fury's had to find different motivation.
Yeah, and if you look at all the players in that heavyweight scene at the moment, obviously Lawrence Coley's a bit frozen out, but Ajit Kabayel and Alexander Usyk, they'll have fights announced soon. The fact Derek Chisora and Deontay Wilder's a week before will warm everyone up. Those both having their 50th fight at the O2. So fight fans will be in London the week before. So we'll be warming towards that. It'll be like a fortnight of celebrations in the heavyweight division in London. The big question mark for me as well is Makhmudov testing the legs of Fury's 38 coming up. If Makhmudov feels this is a special moment, he knows Tyson Fury going back a long period of time. He's always wanted to be in the ring with him. As you say, they match up physically. We will get the test of whether that big booming kaleidoscopic jab is still working, whether Fury's footwork is there. I personally think Makhmudov stylistically is made for Fury. And I see him, I'm going to go out on a limb here straight away, I see him dismantling him in 6 to 8 rounds and stopping him.
Yeah, listen, I think we could see that, Gareth, and I think, you know, the best Tyson Fury versus the best Arslanbek Makhmudov, Tyson Fury wins 10 times out of 10, not 9 times out of 10. Makhmudov is big, he's powerful, he's dangerous, but a little one-dimensional, and we've seen that in the past, you know, in previous fights with Kabayel, he looked very limited. A fight that he went in as favourite against Kabayel got stopped in 4 rounds, and against Dave Allen as well, there were times there, moments where he looked a little lacklustre, but he is a serious test for Tyson Fury, who would have been out the ring for the best part of 18 months then. You go, that's a live opponent to come back to. He's big, he's heavy-handed, and a dangerous fighter. You know, 13 of his 19 victories inside 1 round.
One of the things that people have been asking me when this fight was announced, oh, will they sell out Spurs? Yes, they will. They'll get. I can't reveal it, but I know the undercard, and it is staggeringly good. We're getting 7 or 8. I cannot reveal them. I've just found out about some of them today. We have got fantastic fights on the undercard. They needed that as well. I think they will sell it out because the entertainer's back, isn't he?
Absolutely. Listen, if Tyson Fury can sell out Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on a cold December night, and trust me, we was here that night,
Bobble
and it was
hats, scarves, gloves,
absolutely freezing. Everyone saying this fight will not be sold out. It was absolutely packed to the rafters. We get it again here. Tyson Fury, love him or hate him, has been missed in this heavyweight division.
And what we will find out, if he does lose, maybe he is done.
Well, if he loses, it's not a maybe about it. He's definitely done.
He can still fight on, but that projection is gone, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think there's any motivation for him to fight on them because he's lost all his, you know, he's lost all his marketability. Then, you know, you go, we recognise at 37 you're at the end of the road.
It's a brilliant 12-round fight though, and they rematch, and that's fine.
Yeah, I think it's all about Tyson Fury winning this one, and what I respect about Fury taking Makhmudov is that he go, this guy will pull it out on me. Let me see if I've got it myself. You know, this is about him testing himself as well, because there was much easier fights he could have had to come back with.
Well, there was a lot of noise today before the press conference started. John Fury was here. Take a little look at this.
You've got plenty to say about John Fury. Here I am. You've had plenty to say about John Fury. Where are you? Okay, yes. Let's get it on. All right, pal. Let's get on with it. Here I am. They're talking about me day and night on videos. Day and night on videos. And here I am ready to fight. Where are you, Ed? Where the f*** are you? Hey? The world's been calling me a f***. You know me, Lennox. You know I'm no coward. I was going to fight you in AD. That's true. Wasn't it true? Did I back away from you? That's right. So put some respect on the name of John Fury and get that Carl Frotz here. If he wants it, and anybody else in the building, look here. The ultimate male. Because when you mention John Fury's name, what do you do? Run like friggin' Carl Froch. Run like a Carl Froch. Don't talk about me, no, I'll come to the knock and punch your head in.
So, John Fury, Carl Froch, who wins that one?
Difficult one to call, that.
Really?
You got to go with the
Really?
Cobra. You got to go with the Cobra, mate.
Really?
The Cobra's dangerous. He's still in shape. 48 years of age.
John's standing over there behind you.
You got to go with John Fury. Yeah, no, it kicked off a little bit. But it wasn't only Carl Froch that he went into either, did he? He actually went into Lennox Lewis as well. He started steaming into Lennox Lewis a little bit, and I go, whoa, who wins that one?
Lennox wins. No, Lennox beats John Lennox.
Absolutely.
No, I'm not sure about Carl. I'm
Yeah.
not sure about what John does. He's very, very, very passionate around his sons when they're fighting, and it gets something out of him. I spoke to him right literally face to face, and I said, well, you know, what is upset? He said, I don't want people calling me out because I'll take any man on.
Yeah.
You know the comments.
Yeah.
My guy
Yeah.
came from the set of cojones.
Yeah.
You know, and he is incredibly proud of the family history. 10 generations of bare knuckle fighters. They were born and bred to fight, weren't they? And Tyson Fury is the Gypsy King for that reason.
And do you know what though? Like, you know, we moaned about it, you know, a couple of years ago when John Fury was
Sounds
on
a
his
fight.
rant, the whole thing, and going around, but we sort of missed it in many ways. And this place needed it a little bit today. You know, it was a little bit subdued earlier on. John Fury, when he arrived, burst onto the scene. He called everyone out, done what John Fury does. It's entertainment, and it sells.
Are you predicting what happens in this fight? Not John and Carl Froch or John and Lennox Lewis, but Tyson Fury and Arslanbek Makhmudov.
I think that Tyson Fury wins this fight inside the distance for sure. I see Tyson Fury winning somewhere around 8 rounds. I think that it'll take a couple of rounds to get into it, find his jab, find his flow, but I think that we'll see Tyson Fury back and looking for world titles again.
I mentioned Netflix, of course. The Netflix effects. We are expecting not a big audience here at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which I think is the best stadium for boxing in the UK. It's an incredible arena. It's amazing when you're sitting down there in the centre of the pitch. As I say, we'll be there for the 5th time. I think we'll be here for the 5th time, certainly in terms of there being big fights here. Big numbers on Netflix, I'm taking it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what were the numbers we had with
33,
Mike
110 million.
So we had Mike Tyson,
And
Jake Paul, 110 million,
33 million for Joshua and
yeah,
Jake Paul.
and I think that we hit somewhere around that sort of mark. We go between 30 and 50 million
There
for
you go.
this fight here.
No sitting on the fence from you. Moses Itauma was on talkSPORT as well today. He suggests, and have a little look at this, that none of the top heavyweights want to face him.
I'm stuck in a predicament because it's like, obviously I've surpassed the level of British level. So obviously I'm going on to European world level, but the European world level fighters are holding too much value to fight a young guy like me, because obviously it could be a career ending loss. But then obviously the guys who's got the belts, Fabio Wardley and Usyk, I mean, they've earned the right to do whatever they want, and I guess they probably wouldn't fight me either. So obviously Fabio's in the same gym as me as well. So it's just, I'm in a sticky predicament.
So he's 22 in December. He's just 21 basically. He's got a long future ahead of him, Moses Itauma. Do the top heavyweights not want to face him right now?
Well, I just think
Are they putting them in with him or not?
It's all about market value, isn't it? And if you look at it, you go, yeah, we all know that he's the next, he's the next heavyweight king. We know that he's going to be the next dominant force for sure. Everybody that knows boxing, everyone that's inside the industry knows that. But you go look at it outside of that right now. He needs to build his name, his reputation.
You've said that. Take your time, build him, timing, then the big fights
Absolutely,
come.
because I'm not
No
saying
rush.
I'm not saying that he couldn't compete with Anthony Joshua. He couldn't compete with Tyson Fury. He couldn't compete with Deontay Wilder. They're a different generation. Them guys are mixing out between their tops. But them guys like Alexander Usyk, look at this guy going, this kid's a serious threat. What what value does he bring to me right now when I can go and fight a Deontay Wilder, which for me is a much more winnable fight. So we're talking about the business side of things here, and I think that with Moses, you can look at Moses, you go, you can see him against Murat Gassiev or someone like that, where you go down that.
Oh, that's
that
a good fight.
Yeah,
That's
Gassiev
a good
is a
fight.
great fight. You know, you go down that
Tough
WBA
guy,
route.
Gassiev, with power.
And
Slow,
and
though.
and he's got a strap. Yeah, and he's got a strap there as well. You go, but they're the sort of fights that you go. That's how you can build Moses and build his reputation a little bit more to a wider audience. But for the big guys right now, they don't want none of that. And he's right in what he says there, Moses. By the way, in many respects, where the big guys are looking at him going,
He's too risky.
I don't need this kid.
Yeah, he doesn't bring a giant audience with him. He hasn't got a massive following yet. He's still a neophyte in the heavyweight division. Let's just round off by talking about the heavyweight division as a whole, Spence. Who can we expect Alexander Usyk to fight? Who can we expect Kabayel to fight? If those two are fighting each other next, we'd literally have the whole division sewn up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, you know, it's a fight that I would like to see. And I'd like to see that fight maybe taking place in Germany. We saw Kabayel's recent performance there. He had a great crowd out there with him as well. And it's a fight that's marketable, fight that's sellable out there, someone like Alexander Usyk. But I think that we see Usyk wants to break that American market. And you can see Andy Ruiz Jr., someone like that who's, you know, got a name out there. And it's like, I know, I don't want to see it, but I'm just telling you that that's where I see it happening. Like, I'm talking about...
The face could paint 1,000 words there.
Yeah, no, but I'm with you, mate. Like, because you just go, what is that? Like, you know, it's like when we talked about Alexander Usyk versus Deontay Wilder, you go, in recent form, you go, it's a non-event. But from Usyk's point of view, he's going tick the box, another name.
Yeah.
Where you go,
no, I got the
that's
Wilder fight.
That's what I'm talking about. That
rounding
risk
the
versus
era, I get that. But
Yeah.
even though I would have seen it as rather a mismatch, and Deontay Wilder with a puncher's chance in the fight. I see Deontay Wilder having a puncher's chance against Derek Chisora, by the way.
Yeah.
Derek's smart for a few rounds.
You know,
Who you picking, Wilder or Chisora?
I'm going on Derek Chisora on recent form.
You have to.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Round?
I could go a few rounds. Chisora's a little warhorse, and he comes on strong.
What
He's
are
the
you
most dangerous in those late rounds, between 8 and 10.
Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois. For me, I'm going to go on. I'm kind of on the fence. Dubois dangerous early, Fabio's dangerous late. I think Fabio is a marginal favourite with the bookmakers, but I almost make Daniel Dubois a marginal favourite.
Yeah, well, listen, it's one of those fights where you
Great
go.
fight.
Yeah, Fabio is one of those tough guys that can pull himself, you know, weather the storm. But you look at that and you go, Daniel Dubois is one of the biggest hitting heavyweights out there right now. Fabio Wardley does get caught, and that could be a big danger for him. It's a fight of two halves for sure, because, you know, you go Daniel Dubois strongly, you go heavily favourite in the first 6 rounds, and Fabio Wardley takes over from them.
Completely agree with you.
I marginally agree with you. I think that you go with recent form, momentum, Fabio Wardley you have to start favourite with, but Daniel Dubois, that's one of the best evenly matched fights out there right now.
You big dossers. No, not you. It's the words of Tyson Fury. Everyone's a big dosser around him. The Mac is back. Tyson Fury's back. It's great to be around him again. It does seem to like the heavyweight division, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Listen, I think that look at the fights now. We've been craving for for the year to really get going, haven't we? In the first couple of months of this one, but we look now going from the back end of March, where we get Moses Itauma in the ring, then we get Chisora versus Wilder, and we've had Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois announced as well. So it's all starting to happen here in the heavyweight division, and we've got big Tyson Fury back as well, which is a massive addition to the heavyweight boxing.
And we're going to be at the heart of it for you. Thanks for watching the Fight Night Daily podcast. The Omen and the G-Man, we'll see you next time.